Hello and welcome back to Control. And we're going to see if we can do some side missions here. I don't have many, but I do want to try. Here we go. Mr. Tomasi, I failed this one last time. His corrupted Tomasi has been sighted in the containment sector. He kicked my butt. We're going to give him another go. Now, last time we encountered Hadron for the first time, which seems to be the entity that is in my head. And we kind of learned some things, and I thought about it a bit more. Let's see, ordinary AWE, is that where I want to? Transit corridor south, let's try that. Okay. So this entity, Hadron, has been seemingly keeping the hiss at bay in this slide world. And apparently, well, that kind of explains how or why I'm not affected by the hiss at all. I'm protected by this Hadron thing in my head. Part of it's in my head. Sorta, kinda. And also we learned that the director was infected by the hiss. And I think that explains why he shot himself. Probably realized that having someone with in his position controlled by the hiss would be very bad. Alright, we'll leave you alone. And he knew that by offing himself, a new director would take his place. Whoa. And that is me. I gotta be careful here. He's gonna summon ads soon. So this Hadron in my head brought me here, I think. And... we gotta figure out how to get it back into the slide. We don't know where the projector is. It keeps moving around. Ow. Not again. Not again. I think that's it.
There. I guess the Bureau should start looking for a new head of communications.
Where's the butterfly? Ow. God. He's dead, and he's still summoning ads. I tore this place up. Hey, we got some notes. Sterling event summary. A paranatural object appeared in a field outside the town of Sterling, Colorado, near a billboard advertising blank. No civilians were injured, though a family dog has been reported as missing since the event. Event response. Local authorities arrived on the scene and began issuing orders over a monitored line of communication using several watchwords flagged by the Bureau, including blank. Bureau agents from the regional office were dispatched and arrived 2 hours after local police. The situation was contained and an analysis began. Bureau research staff arrived the next day and examined the object. After blank days of evaluation, the object was lifted into an enclosed truck with built-in black rock panels and relocated to Bureau headquarters via the subway transit system leading into the oldest house. Watchwords. What is a watchword? Okay, well, that's the object, I guess. Let's head back to Emily.
Welcome back, Jesse.
Hiya.
I took care of the Tomasi problem. Sorry, I
Permanently.
was a coworker.
Don't apologize. That wasn't the real Tomasi. He died when the hiss got him.
You're right. I just didn't want to be insensitive.
Sentimentality is a weakness in situations like these, Jesse. It's Bureau 101.
I don't think Emily's in danger of being called sentimental.
Nope, she's a psycho. 3 ability points
I
received.
should get going.
Don't let me hold you up.
Later. Alright. We can take the sector elevator to the investigation sector. We could try that. I think that's a, Alan Wake themed mission or something. I don't think it's a DLC thing. I don't think I have the DLC. Just playing the regular edition. Alright, well, we can try it. Investigations. It's dark. Those are some slow-ass doors.
Hello? Anyone here?
Guess not.
Someone's here. They're just not showing themselves. There's a lot of notes.
A lot more crowded than the rest of the bureau.
Did I go back in time? It doesn't really look like it. Darling investigation. Official findings report, RE Dr. Casper Darling. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation D845 was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research. Despite the accounts of anonymous blank regarding inhumane treatment of a blank currently housed in the Bureau, our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of blank sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such blank contained there. One blank confirmed the blank's code name to be blank, but all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the blank research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into blank research. So this is internal investigations. KC inquiry. Mr. Dennis, a request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author, Alan Wake, per the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement. I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. But I'm writing to let you know we received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sound familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing the name with the most famous character Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with a writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into, but what's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy. Special Investigator Gleason. Looks like Alan Wake's novels are coming true. I haven't played the game, so can't really say too much about that. Missing agents. Mr. Kirkland, here are the latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead, from the containment breach yesterday. And the date is crossed out. Agent Jonathan Connor, researcher Ezra Cruz, Agent Caroline Dempsey, Agent Lindsay Malcolm, Agent Charles Murray, Agent Derek Shaw. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You'll be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet, and the only hard copies of reports exist behind the fire brick. They're lost, I'm afraid. Not sure. Not sure what that does. Looks like it should control the light. Yeah, they're all burnt out. Okay. Tractor supplement. Burrow tractor. Supplementary materials. Note, miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. Burrow, William, male, Caucasian. Case summary, 33-year-old man found dead on his property per police report. Remains obtained for coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. Autopsy findings, blunt force injuries, head, lacerations, left ear, cheek. Blunt force injuries, extremities, dislocation, right knee, complete avulsion of the right upper extremity with associated fracture of the proximal right humerus, extensive trauma, abdominal region, complete avulsion of multiple organs, including stomach, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and portions of the large and small intestine, all missing from scene. Conclusion, it's my opinion that Mr. Burrow's death is not the result of a mechanical accident, as claimed by authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with animal attack. It was torn apart. Well, that opens the way there. Keystone inspection. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way to the target AWE, like you asked. I'm sending my report directly to you to try to keep a lid on this Grumman-Morales desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here. Given their records, it is possible they've switched teams, like you suspected, but I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here on Keystone, and I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the Ordinary case, but that was just the adults, if I'm remembering the file correctly. This is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings. 2 overlapping circles with a dot in the shared space. Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off and maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. Sincerely, Agent Keenum. More notes. Tractor procedures. Containment procedure. Item is not in Bureau custody. None unknown. This is the Bureau tractor. Description. A Frank Elk tractor. Olive green. Dried blood on the grill when last seen. Item is capable of vocalized responses or growls and unmanned locomotion. Considered highly aggressive and dangerous. Background. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of Bureau Farm outside of Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived on scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. Police arrived but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communications staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item. It responded by growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the item are ongoing. Speaking to Mrs. Burrow only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier the night of the incident. Whether these events are connected is currently unknown. Wow, we got a tractor out there, just sentient tractor, possibly sentient, I don't know, wreaking havoc, just driving around on its own. Ethics investigation. Official findings report RE the Prime Candidate Program. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation P1429 was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program, blank, by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic blank and blank. Blank were brought into the oldest house and placed under blank examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. This program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic blank of paranaturally inclined blank. Not only is this in breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human blank. This investigation team is unequivocally blank a Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it be blank immediately. Resignation letter. The date is blanked out. To whom it may concern, it is with great anger and regret that I tender my resignation as head of investigations for the FBC. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's blank. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears. So I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame this situation on our blank, who has routinely ignored my requests for assistance and reclaiming the parts of the investigation sector lost to the blank loose inside. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that firebreak. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The blank has failed his agents. I shall never forgive him for that. Director? Sincerely, William Kirkland. What got loose? It's not the tractor. They couldn't find the tractor. Staffing issue. Mr. Dennis, so yes, there's an increase in AWE cases, and yes, it will be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny little detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. It's simple math. Between the staff we lost in the Hartman thing and the ones who left for other departments after Kirkland quit, we're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just filing the paperwork for all the altered items we left behind in the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowding situation. The lobby isn't meant to accommodate the whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. It better not still be sitting on your desk. The people are getting restless, and as Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Best regards, Agent Grayson. So they all had to relocate here? Fire break. That's that way. That was sealed off. Cauldron Lake update. To Chief Investigator Dennis. It happened again. Third time this year. Something certainly has it out for our blank. Could be raccoons. The locals certainly complain about them enough. But why the hell would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? Doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got a bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list of recurring problems is the staff at the Lake House Research Station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on Blink Lake if they won't let me see any data? Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. We need to petition them again to share info with investigation agents. It's only a matter of time before this Blink hits again, and I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone asks at HQ asks why the Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings. In the meantime, I might invest in some raccoon traps. Sincerely, Agent Estevez. Oh, there's so many notes to read. Underhill background. Summary: Dr. Raya Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the UK, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incident or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations or any record of breaching her NDA since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since, depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house. It may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. Okay, so the first time she was here, she worked with Dr. Darling. There was some kind of possible romance or something. Then she quit, went to university, came back at the request of Dr. Darling to investigate the molds. She's the one that we talked to in the way down in the basement under the research sector. Helped her with her mold problem. Director investigation. Her authorization from Mr. Kirkland, blank, was launched into the blank of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent change in blank witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive blank when blank with other staff, has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. Notable blank between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff, although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter. Witness accounts suggest their argument centered around the Dimensional Research Wing and the blank kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's blank as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. The investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behavior is not indicative of any blank, and that his fitness to lead is not in question. Refer to blank for a full report. This was probably after they were infected by the hiss. Not infected, but I don't know, what word did Dr. Darling use? Affected in some way, maybe infected, I'm not sure. Somehow they made contact with the hiss, and they probably realized it. That's why he was mad. Certificate of Achievement for years in service to the Bureau. There's no date on this. Certificate of Recognition. In recognition of successful completion of the requisites and of nomination of FBC on 12th of March by virtue of their authority, hereby confers this certificate of recognition. I'm hearing sounds in the background. Trench. Official warning. Kirkland, I'm growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen, holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. And don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You're a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The Prime Candidate program only failed because of Darling. You are both failures, plotting against me. Traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Zachariah Trench, director of FBC. Oh, he's angry. Is that the hiss talking? Maybe this thing they have in there is the tractor. Maybe they did locate it and bring it in. And the message we read was an older thing. Alright, let's take this.
Now that gate should open.
Alright, let's fight a tractor. This should be interesting. Specimen Escape Assessment. RE Incident A49. Summary. The purpose of Internal Investigation X397 is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI1 that resulted in the deaths of blank agents. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspected human error to be the cause, yet no department has provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes on the specimen from the internal network. On the blank of blank, the specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive blank. Cross-referencing that date with various logs only found 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. The air filters were changed, and 2, an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice Blank entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. Yeah, who is Alice? I don't remember an Alice. Given their connection to the same AWE case, it is likely that Mrs. Blank's presence is relevant to the specimen's escape and to the Blank investigation ongoing. Can't wait to be chased by this tractor.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
You think? Blessed Organization. The Blessed Organization Paracriminal Profile. This group individual has operated outside of the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of the past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, an LA-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with an object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and object of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed Organization. First time hearing about that. Executive hiss noise. There's a vending machine here. How come they didn't bring that with them? You gonna leave all those snacks behind?
Do we know each other?
Alan.
This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake.
Is Bright Falls? I think Bright Falls is where Alan Wake takes place.
Who are you?
I told you.
Who are you?
I'm Alan Wake.
Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink.
Night Springs. Darling. That was Darling. I had a bad dream. I was a red-haired woman. There was this FBC thing.
Nothing holds
So bizarre.
We're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
writing.
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen him.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
Without context, that's a little bizarre. It might make sense if I played the Alan Wake games.
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here?
Traverse the motel. There's the Black Pyramid.
And Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
Hello? What kind of vending machine makes that kind of noise? It's very echoey.
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came, a resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
We're back. Got our way through. I want to get over there. Wow, this place is big. Is this a DLC? How long is this gonna take? I thought this was just gonna be like a little side mission. That did not help me. That seems pretty far. Ah, jeez. Yeah, we're not getting through there. Okay. See if we can wait for that thing to turn around. Hey, we did it. Oh dear God. Okay. Wait, let's talk about this. Let's have a look at the map. Okay. Don't think there's going to be anything over here. Oh God. So this is the firewall. They had to seal it off here. Agents tried to get through. That guy didn't make it. Excuse me.
Damn. Abandoned. Why did Wake want me to come here?
I'm looking for Alan Wake. Have you seen him? Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Are those water fountains? They're shrinking. Is it dangerous? Doesn't seem dangerous. They're just sort of appearing and shrinking. Alright, filings and processing, operations.
That doesn't look like a house shift.
Something, yeah.
I even want to know.
It's all multiplying. I've got a bug to report. Well, I've got 5 abilities. Might as well use them. I want this one. Seize large enemies when their health is low. And I can get it now. We'll get that. And that. There we go. I don't think I can upgrade... Oh, I can upgrade it now. I can upgrade Pierce again. Alright, I think that's the last weapon upgrade. Okay, well, I think I'm going to end the episode here. So I think this whole area is like a DLC thing. Yeah, I'll look into it. Maybe the version I have on Xbox Game Pass has all the DLC, I guess. I'm not really sure, but it feels like this is an Alan Wake themed DLC thing. So we're going to go through this before we continue on with the main story. So we might be here for a little while. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.